Hi, everyone. RV Debs here with you. It's Thursday night. It's 9:47. I just thought I'd make a quick little live chat with you guys. So I hope that there's some people there that would like to join me. And I'll see what's going on. Hold on a minute. Okay. It's been so hot. So hot in Texas. Okay. Let me just see if I can find myself here. Yay, Cooper. Oh, I'm not the most fashionable, but that's sweet of you to say. Hi, Lisa. Good evening. How you doing, Cooper? How you doing, Lisa? What's going on? I have been really stressed out, actually. So if you can see fashionable in this, wow. Hi, Daddy's Life. Good to see you guys here. I am just, wow. It's been, like I say, well, today it was about 104 degrees. And oh, good to hear that. Hi, Rainbow Cat. And I have been like having a big old problem. Hi, Libra. Oh, I am good because my hat had a really bad hair day the other day. Hi, Lisa. Thank you. I do feel better. My last video, I just wanted to kind of explain it. I did an Etsy shop video, and I was in the garage, and it was about 100 and who knows how hot it was in there. And thank you, Catherine. Hi. I'm not stressed right now. I'm better. Hi, a journey for me. But my air conditioner every day around say 5 in the afternoon, it was about 100 degrees and up, and it would just click off from the breaker box. And I would wait a few minutes, and then I'd go to the box and click it back up, and it would start again. And it'd been doing this for several days. So I started really getting upset because this whole week is going to be over, like up to 111. And this is just June. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when it's July, August, and September? Because last year it was not like this at all. So today, hi, Purple Angel Wings. What a pretty name. I'm doing much better today. It was Kathy's birthday, and she'd been celebrating it for a few days. And today I was going to go to dinner with her. Yeah, really hot. And it was really hot. And I was bringing the dogs over to her house because it was turning off. And if I was going to go anywhere, I wouldn't leave them. And then the air conditioner quits out. So it's getting really hot fast. Like, I mean, it's only the end of May. And last year I was here and it was nothing like this. But anyway, so it kept popping off, popping off. And I didn't know what to do because the guy that fixed my heater, good old Jason, he told me that they're not allowed to go on the roof because they don't have insurance, which is crazy because if you're going to be an RV repair shop, air conditioners, friendly fans, that's on the ceiling, and he wouldn't go. So it was really depressing. He wanted to change my breaker box. So my sweet friend Kathy, put a she had a picture of my RV and she put it on the local trading post, and I was put with this guy whose name was Mark, another Mark, and he came over and he climbed up on there with a ladder and he cleaned the air conditioner. It was filthy. Thank you, Hungry Mama. So actually it was, and I looked at a few videos on how to clean the AC. but I couldn't get up on the roof. And so for $50, hold on, never been to Missouri. For 50 bucks though, he worked really hard. He took that cover off. He showed me pictures. He took pictures. And hi Terry, they're fine, thank goodness. My dogs are good. And he took pictures of how dirty the coils were and the fins or whatever you want to call them. And so he washed out the thing. And so far, knock on some wood, it's been on. And I'll tell you that the true test will be tomorrow in the afternoon because it would stay on until about 95 degrees. My pups are excellent. Rosie is right next to me and Lily's right down on the floor. And it's nice and cool in here right now. And I do have a fan on. But I was just so tired of being, looking for someone to come over here. And he was 50. I asked him, how much do I owe you? He said, $50 to clean the AC out. And if I have to add a Freon or, whatever they call it, a refrigerant, but he didn't. And it's cold air. And he said, if I need anything, I got his number. And he's freelancer. Hi, Jean. Yeah, there's no running away really from this because this whole week is between 100 and 111. And I think next week too. It's awful. And I'm not happy right now with my living, here in this part of Texas. I've got some plans. I don't know if they're going to come through because I want to get a van and I want to get out of here. I want to go visit some friends up, out northwest. Cottonwood. Where's Cottonwood? Yay, Lisa, really, woohoo. I'm just like thrilled that the guy, he was nice and he worked hard. And the only thing, when you water through, when you do a lot of watering all over your air conditioner, my bed got soaked. I should have put a tarp on the bed or a bucket. And so next time, so we had to he helped me take the mattress outside and lean it, let it dry in the dry heat. And all the blankets. I just changed the linens. I'm exhausted. It was a blessing. And I was praying, dear Lord, please, you know what I need, help. And it's funny how, things did work out. And then this week, for the next Thursday to Monday night, I'm going to be, a friend of mine, I stayed over at, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the winter, my heater didn't work. And I stayed for a week over at my friend's house. Well, they're going to Houston and they asked me if I would take care of their doggie, Riley. And I will, of course. So I'm going to spend some time over there. Their house is nice. And do some laundry and, make sure the doggie is good. Hi, Teresa. Oh, thank you. You love the necklace that I'm wearing? This was my mother's. Yes, it's very special. But my last video, people were saying, gosh, your one eye is smaller and you're puffy. And I looked pretty bad. Hi, Angel. And I was looking bad. But anyway, I felt like I needed to, show some of my necklaces and stuff because it really does help. And when I show it, people buy them. And so I sold a few necklaces. It was worth it, but I looked like crap. Arizona, yeah. I would like to go to Northern California. I've got such a good friend there. But I want a van, and I'm thinking about it seriously. I'm thinking maybe it's time to sell my RV. I'll call myself Deb's Journey. Buy a van with the money from the RV. Get a little apartment in town, which would be more money, but it would be at least, a year-round apartment with a place to, that I could actually paint and keep my paints out, make jewelry and not have to put everything away. Because, you guys know living in an RV, you can't, your hobbies have to be like this big. But I don't know yet for sure, but that's a thought. And I definitely want a van. And I know Kathy's husband, Mark, is handy. He could help me, make the bed, and can figure out the rest and I used to have, I know how to do a battery and an inverter to like run a fan. Yeah, Libra, I was like looking pretty disheveled and no makeup and no, my hair was crappy. I was feeling pretty bad because I knew I was going to have to spend some money on this thing. Yeah, you think Northern California gets that hot? Whoa. Hi, Carla. Wisconsin's a nice place in the summer. Well, my friends live in Mount Shasta. I was talking to her yesterday. She said that it was 60 degrees and that it was going to get up to about 85. They're in the mountains. So, thanks, Libra. Well, some people were like, really, they like were worried about me. They were thinking, am I having a stroke? I looked at myself again. I thought, well, I looked pretty bad. But don't we all, when we don't do anything? I didn't even have my hair combed. But yeah, so I sold like 3 necklaces and I just sold 3 bracelets. I sat out there today to make the 3rd bracelet and it was like, it's hot. And I had a fan like right here. So anyway, I wanted to get on here to tell you all that I was, not feeling really good the other day. Hi, Michelle from Indiana. How's your weather? What's been your weather today? I let a bunch of flies in when we were doing that. I had to bring the bed. It was outside drying and bring it in. So the doors were open. What does that mean? You got fat thumbs? I got fat lots of stuff. Hey, if it was a long time ago, I would be considered royalty, being nice and chubby. But I took a shower and I put a little makeup on. That certainly helps. I have to help myself look pretty good. And I am feeling better too. And just the feeling of, just knowing, because it was dirty. I mean, think about how dusty and dirty Texas is. So yeah, it needed to be, cleaned. And it was gunky. It was gross. And I watched Pippi Peterson, I think her name is, get up on her RV roof and show how she cleaned the fins and all. And I knew how to do it, but I wasn't about to get up on the roof. Thank you, Mamma Mia. Yeah, I clean up good, huh? I'll drink to myself. Right now, I'm wearing really something that I sleep in. Very comfortable. But yeah, the weather sucks right now. Last May, this time of year, if it got into like 90, that was hot. This is crazy. Like right now, I'll tell you, I mean, I think it's cooled down a little. Okay, Google, what's the temperature?
The temperature in Knox City right now is 93.
93. It's 93 at 10 o'clock in the evening. And then tomorrow is going to be another hot day. So this is going to be a good test to see if this cleaning of the AC worked. And I'll let you all know. Can you imagine how hot it's going to be, though, in the next few months? Oh, my gosh. My idea would be to be here part-time and get in my van and be comfortable enough to get on the road and, travel here and there, like maybe in the winter go to Arizona and visit some people. And in the summer, try to go like Oregon, Washington. I've got my dear friend Chris lives in Washington, near Seattle, and I just think I need to be where there's big, tall trees and ocean. I really miss the ocean. I miss the Gulf of Mexico. Right now, I miss Florida. Florida's not even this hot. Now, that's life, right? Nothing's perfect. Nothing. So what's going on with you guys? Are y'all keeping cool? Are you keeping cool? I know I'm trying to. Oh man, what a day. I was crying earlier because I really felt like there was no place for me. You gotta have AC when it's 102 degrees, 105 degrees. But some little angel came and rescued me. And for $50, it was well worth it. And the air blows cold. And I probably don't even need my breakers fixed because the breakers did their job. They cut off when it was too hard for the air conditioner to work. Isn't that what that's about? So anyway, ooh, I know I've missed something. Yes, the blessed central air is a wonderful thing. That's right, Angel. I could be RV Debs with my new van. I'm gonna get a van. No, I'm not missing too much. Frozen grapes sounds like a good idea, and I have some in the fridge. I might stick them in the freezer. I've not been 100% because, like tonight, we went to. There's only two places in town to have dinner. I didn't want to go to Bud's again, so me and Kathy went to Isabella's. I did make a little video just of us and in the restaurant, so I'll put that in my next video. But I had a taco salad, so it wasn't perfect, but there was avocado. It wasn't bad, and I didn't let them bring any chips. They've got here. There's a couple places that have apartments there, and they'll go by how much money you earn, and or whatever. And the thing about going in one of those apartments here, it's not that they're ugly inside. Actually, they're nice inside, but there's no yards, no place to sit outside with the dogs, and I'd have to I have to walk the dogs. I guess that would be good for me. I would qualify for, I don't know if they call it HUD, but I qualify for an apartment here, which would cost a little over 300, and I think that she told me 310. Well, thank you for coming in, Daddy's Life. I appreciate it. That's true, Fast Pup. I definitely am going to get a van, and it's going to happen probably within hopefully in the next few months. But I don't know. Carla, not really interesting. And just keychains have never been a big seller for me. So I figure like $310 for rent, and then you got your electric, you got your television. I've got my Verizon. My Verizon's expensive. For me to have unlimited because of where we live, it's like $133 a month. So, by the time I turn around, half the money that I'd have coming in, more than half, would really be expenses. So, I don't know, and YouTube is great. I don't get enough. I mean, actually, this last month I did better than I've ever done. And I had a lot of people tell me that they were going to go to bed with my channel, my YouTube channel on. And I guess they did. Well, see, Janice, hi, Janice. There's no Boost Mobile. There's nothing but Verizon works in this part of Texas. So, but if I lived in an apartment for a while and got got myself a van and fixed it up, it wouldn't be terrible. I would definitely be able to do more painting and beading and keep things out so that I would just keep it out in the dining room. Yeah, the only thing that works unlimited in this area is Verizon. Otherwise, you'd be like having to go to Abilene or something just to make phone calls, and that wouldn't be fun. So I gotta keep my Verizon, unfortunately. And I'm sort of spoiled by unlimited. The only thing, Libra, is that I've heard that if I was to doing that because it's my computer, other people can do it, and I appreciated whoever did it because I definitely saw an increase. Verizon, well, where we live, they're going to put in another Verizon tower because there's so many people using the tower. Certain times it slows down, and I only am, even with unlimited, you're only allowed something like 22 gigs, and then after that it slows down. You still get on, but like it's been taking 2 hours to upload a video, which used to be faster. Day too. I think I was a little bit dehydrated. I don't really want to live in an apartment, Angel, but I really am getting it's kind of small for me to be able to do the painting and everything. And with the heat, it's too hot to go in the garage because the garage only has fans. And when it's 100 degrees, it's not comfortable. Unless it's early in the morning, and then it's still, 80, which I can handle. So everybody wants me. All my family says, don't you think it would be better if you had an apartment and you didn't have to worry? That's the truth. But I'm not really happy about an apartment. I've never been the type to live in an apartment building. I hate it. I have lived in it, but I said I'd never live in another apartment. And the biggest thing is here where I live on the property with Kat and Mark, I've got a lot of land and I can sit outside and the dogs know their area. Hi, Deb Marie. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. But I've been having so much problems with my AC that I started to think maybe it's time to get an apartment, at least for the summer. And then if I wanted to sell this RV, I could take that money. Hi, Kathy. I could take the money and buy a van. And Mark would help me fix the van up so that I could camp in it pretty comfortably. Okay, Fast Pup says, if you're going to pay $300 a month for rent, why not make a van payment with that money instead? Then I would be full-time living in a van, and I don't think that would work for me at all. I need some space. That's the thing. I have a decent sized little RV. It's 27 foot with a little slide out, but I find myself sitting right here most of the time, and it's not that comfortable. My bedroom is really small. The bathroom's tiny. Well, that's what it is. I was having major problems with my air conditioner, which we're having temperatures of 100 to 111 every day. And it was turning off. I mean, literally, I'd be all nice and cool in here. And then it was about 96 degrees, 95, and I'd hear click, and the breaker turned off. But hi, Amanda, welcome. But today, as I was telling everybody, I met this guy through my best friend Kathy. Put a little ad, kind of posted a post on the local trading thingy online, and this man came and he cleaned this filthy air conditioner. I mean, it was filthy. It was 3 years since I had it cleaned. And I know it was crazy, and it was hot as could be. And he showed me, he took 2-3 pictures and they let me see them. I don't know about putting a mobile home under the awning. I don't know, because the way that the sewer line could work with a regular toilet, but I don't know about the electric. As it is, I think the electrics could be stronger. Oh yeah, I know, Deb. I do know that this is not. I can't even believe that this is not even June. Hi, Michelle. She says she's sitting here. She's stuck in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment by herself, and she wants out. She trades situations. That's nice, Rainbow. She's moving to a town on a dead-end road on a wooded lot. Lots of work keeping limbs picked up. Yeah, really. Chocolate Lover wants to know, have I seen any good movies? The last movie I saw was I Could If I Could Imagine. Isn't that the name of that song that was a hit? It was about the guy that wrote the song. Deb says she's in Austin right. Sorry, the Nowhere Van. It says they're in Austin right now. I agree with you. I would love to be in the Northwest. Texas summer sucks, and it's going to be a major heat one. I wouldn't mind a tiny house. I don't really need much more room, just a little bit more. I mean, the kitchen. I mean, I love to cook, and you guys like to see me cook, and I have no oomph, no desire, because it's just there's no room. Amanda, that's nice. For June 1st, your last day on the job. Is that a good thing? Kevin, yes, that was the excellent movie. If only if how does that go? If you could only imagine, that was beautiful. Hi, Carrie. She says the humidity in Alabama's murder. Thank you, Michelle. Well, when I lived in Alabama and I got there in August, I believe, and I stayed 10 months, and it never, my AC worked fine, but then I had it cleaned. Right before I moved to Alabama, I had somebody up on the roof cleaning the AC. I can only imagine. It was good. I would suggest anyone that gets a chance to see the movie. I'd like to go to another movie sometime soon. Good luck, Amanda, starting her own business. Take that leap. Okay, Fast Pup Dog Trading says you could buy a great AC unit for the garage and pay someone to insulate it for a couple of months rent. I've asked Kathy and Mark, why don't we get an air conditioner in there? And they said there's so many, I feel like something's biting me. There's so many air, that it needs so much, there's so much air that gets through the garage doors. Thank you, Deb Marie. So they kind of turned me down on it. I was thinking, why don't we put let's put an air conditioner in here. But they're stubborn. I love them, but I don't know. Amanda, I hope it did. He put the air conditioner back on when he was done, and it was still about 100 degrees, and it didn't turn off. So I'm thinking that would be good. So tomorrow we'll tell the test. When in the afternoon, when it gets about 95 and it gets up to 100, if it doesn't click off, that was it. He said, the guy that was here said, It was so dirty that it wasn't getting, the heat was not letting the fresh air. I don't know what it does, but it wasn't working. Well, there's no beach here, chocolate lover. I'd have to drive like 7 hours. There's a swimming pool across the street that's not open yet, but it's opening. Gary, she started, or he, it's a he, right? Started a business in 2005. Best move I ever made. Now retired, and son is moving is runs the business. Hi, Kara. Yes, I am lucky that I have rent. I just pay a very small amount. I pay I pay direct TV and I pay electric and water, which is not a lot here. And they don't want to make money on me, which I love them so much. You don't know. I mean, my God, I would take a bullet for Kathy. Michelle says that her central air heating unit got clogged up like mine and shut off at the breaker box like mine, and it got cleaned and it works fine now. That's good to know. I think that's exactly what was wrong. And you know what's really weird? I had a guy in call it's RV Haskell RV, which is not far from here. He did the heater. So when I tell him, you know what, I need you to get on the roof and clean my AC out really good. He goes, we don't go on the roofs. Yeah, that's a possibility, Amanda. She said I could set up a bead shop in my RV. I can imagine. Fast pup dog training. She said, are you paying rent to keep the RV at Mark and Kat's? And if not, spend the money you would pay for rent for the apartment on the garage to get cooled and heated. What am I missing? Well, first of all, I've already asked why we don't, get air conditioning in the garage. They don't feel like they could do that. Yes, I do pay some rent. I don't pay a lot. They're not making money on me. So, I don't know if anybody ever had a best friend. That's what best, I pay my way. I pay my electric, my water. I pay direct TV for them and for me. And I think the air is going to be good now. I sure hope so. It feels good tonight, but usually when it gets under 95, it stays on. Kathy is my sister. She is probably better than a sister. 38 years, we've been best friends, and we know each other well. And her family has adopted me. It's not the same, believe me, it's not the same as my blood family, but it's pretty close. Yeah, they're hanging out. They're comfortable tonight. Well, it's been comfortable at night. It's when in the afternoon is when it seems to just click off. As soon as it hits about 95. No, Timothy, how you doing? No, in Alabama, my AC was still clean. I had it cleaned in Florida when I first bought my travel trailer. I made sure that it was cleaned because my husband was an AC guy, and he was always telling me you got to keep them clean. And I had a feeling it was all clogged up. No, I don't make charm bracelets. I just pretty much make beaded bracelets, beaded anklets. Oh, thank you, Patty. That's very kind of you. Grandma Patty is a sweetheart. But I just I'm thinking about, getting some other things and making some things like tassels, earrings with tassels. No, Carrie, I don't want to pretend I'm at a sauna and a health club. Believe me, I don't feel too good when I'm hot. And I think it showed in my last video, and you know, yes, Patty's a doll. People, you know, and the thing about having a channel and people, you know, supporting the channel, I don't ever want to have to ask anybody for things. That's why I have my beads. That's why I love my beads so much, because I give, people get something and they pay for it. I don't know, a Patreon account, people have them. I don't know what I would do for a Patreon account that would be anything different than I'm doing now. And Libra, you know, I used to write songs. I can write songs. And I one time went on a vacation with Kathy on a cruise and met this guy on the cruise, and I wound up writing like a 4-page, I forget what I called it. Oh yeah, I called it a whirlwind cruise. Timothy, you know, I'm from Buffalo. That's where that's where my cousins live. That's where I was born. In 91 degrees in Buffalo, might as well be 100. Because people just don't have these central ACs like they do in Florida and, you know, places like here. Michelle, you want a white necklace with pretty blue flowers. That's the thing. I don't have flowers. I have beautiful blue, you know, I have like cobalt blue, beautiful crystals I can mix with white. You know, I might want to go to visit my family in Buffalo. They both, there's 2 sisters that are cousins of mine, and I love them. None of my family watch. So I might someday do that, take the van going that way. We did it. Kathy and I went to Buffalo several years ago now, and we did arts and craft shows there. One in Tonawanda on the canal. It was so hot. And I've been making jewelry, Chocolate Lover asked, probably since I started making jewelry in 1990. Hi, Rose. Oh, thank you. I look forward to seeing what you've got in that package, really. And I'd love to make some, I'd love to get some pink, new stuff, pink beads to use. So cool. I'll look forward to it. I hope you're feeling better. Thank you. Yes, I sold a long white necklace, but I have a 30, I think it's 30 inches. It's long, goes over your head. And I have one in white with clear crystals and a little tiny silver roundelettes that are like they're real tiny on each side of the bead, and they have like little rhinestones. They're like old ones too. But and I do make earrings. I haven't made as many earrings lately, but I can make earrings. I'm gonna make a couple pairs because I bought some findings in turquoise and silver on the bottom, and I'm gonna make those. But if you want, I'll try making a white necklace with some little blue accents if you want me to try. No, Terry, my truck, thank goodness, runs really good. Will Mark and Kathy let you get a storage building and put it there and put AC and heat in there? They would let me do whatever I want. I'm going to plant, a matter of fact, I'm going to plant a tree for my mother and father. And if I wanted to get a storage building, that would be fine. Could I put AC in it and heat? That you're talking, you know, you're talking a little bit of money there. You know, I don't make rings now. I used to make rings all the time, but they were beaded, where you wrap them. I use a you know, a ring sizer, and I would use the gold wired, and you'd like put beads on and wrap. But I haven't made those in a long time. Michelle, thank you. I appreciate that. I will definitely be making more. I just right now it's kind of hot out there. All right, I'm looking forward to that, Rose. She said she gets compliments on the jewelry that she bought for me. And Angel says, "I love the short, stretchy necklace you did recently that had star beads. It was blues and greens, I think. I wanted it and got to Etsy and it was sold. I'll make some more of those, the shorter necklaces, because they're cool. You can also double them up as a bracelet too." Twisted Mickey said, "The RV community says you are not an RVer. What do you say to them?" Well, there's plenty of us people that live in RVs and don't travel. So I say to them, whatever, talk to the hand. I mean, I live in my RV. I empty the black tank. I may have to make sure I juggle electricity. That's what I was thinking today, Patty, was can I get a portable, RV? Most of the RV guys, people like whatever those people are saying. Who cares? As a matter of fact, RVTV, Russ, he talked to me today and he said, why don't you get a portable uh, air conditioner that you just vent it out a window? And I was ready. If this AC was going to give me any more trouble, I was going to get something like that. Libra said she was asking because I've been watching a channel called Income School, two guys that teach people how to blog and how to create website and blog site. It's pretty simple how to blog. Michelle, just think about when you live in an RV, you do not have a whole lot of room. So if you can handle that, then living in an RV is okay. I know, Kara. I do live in an RV. Amanda said Deb is Deb. She is not defined by her RV. No, no matter where if I do move out of here, I get a van, then I'm still I'm still going to be camping in a van, right? And Marcy, how you doing? Deb, do you make rings slash the stretchy kind wire? I don't, not at this time. Right, Kevin. Just because I don't move where doesn't mean I don't live in it. Michelle says that's how you found me was with, that's how I found Deb and Fat Cat. And she lives in an RV, she doesn't move it around. Right. Carrie says that like Bob Wells doesn't live in an RV. Nobody lives in a camper and a van, and that's a recreational vehicle, I guess. It's just a word. Actually, Timothy, my black tank never smells. I like having this home base, and it is wonderful, Rose. I don't ever have a problem with my black tank because it's going down into a sewer, a long sewer, and I don't know, I just never smell it at all. Chocolate Lover said, would you like to do a clothing haul? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd have to figure out, though, ring sizes are kind of funny. Right, Angel? I'm allowed to call myself anything. I mean, I've been RV Deb's journey. It's really about my journey in life. That's really it is. And I do want to travel. I love to travel, but I couldn't live full time in a van. I'm so glad I do have a little town that I call home now. Twisted Monkey wants to know if I'd ever consider going back on the road. Well, the thing is that my truck, which is a Chevy Avalanche, didn't feel strong enough. At least I didn't feel comfortable enough pulling a trailer like this big. If I had a small trailer, like I'd keep my truck because if I only had a 15-foot or 20-foot, that's it. But this sucker gets heavy with everything I own, and going up mountains would be freaky. It really flipped me out. It kind of having no man on the road, I started getting problems. Oh, that's too bad, Michelle. Thank you, Keith. I try to treat people like I want to be treated, and I'm a pretty independent soul, and like I don't bother Kat and Mark. I don't sit there in their house every day. They have to kind of call me and go. As a matter of fact, if I don't text Kathy by noon, she's calling me to see if I'm alive. She's like, because normally I'll get up in the morning and I'll text her and say good morning. But like tomorrow, her and her husband are going to go to Wichita Falls just to spend the day together, go see a movie, go shopping, whatever. I'd love to go, but I wouldn't want to put myself out to go with them when they want to have, especially him, wants to have some time with his wife. And I'd like a Scamp, something like a small vehicle. I would keep my truck, but I'd have to get some money to do that. So it's either sell my truck, trade it in, or sell my, RV. I'll check it out, Daddy's Life. Someone asked me where's one of the best places that I've ever been to. I must tell you that Oregon is just some place about Oregon that really got my heart when I was there. There was a place called Ashland, Oregon, and it was just a beautiful little town. Gorgeous, gorgeous mountains and trees and rivers running, and really nice. And I also love Washington. I've been all the way up to Vancouver, Canada. Gorgeous up there. And I like the weather too. I'm really not a hot weather person. But I love my truck. It's a great truck, and it was my husband's truck. It's loaded. It's got all the features. It's got, seats that heat up, and sky roof, but it's not the kind of a truck that makes you feel like it's not a dually. If you're going to pull a trailer, you better make sure your truck is more than a half ton. What's my little snoozy, Libra? Yes, I miss Oregon, and I miss that area. One of my very close friends, like a best friend, not quite the best friend like Kathy, but close. Her name is Bonnie. She lives with her husband right near Mount Shasta, and I love that area. So, and I fit more in that area. So, I'm here. I was telling Kathy today, like, if I was almost saying I'm sorry I didn't like go all the way to Oregon. I get a little depressed because, and it doesn't happen all the time. I think it happens when the AC breaks or the heater's not working. I just kind of get upset with myself because I'm really not a Texas person per se. I'm really more of a California lady, and not saying I'm dead liberal or dead this, or I hate when people put everybody in a same old clump. But I do feel a little more open-minded, to say the least, than most people here. And I can't really tell people how I really feel. I just listen and try not to put my 2 cents in. They know already anyway. I do like North Carolina. Well, Marcy, I was going to go to Oregon with my. I don't even know what would have happened if I did go. Angel, thank you for coming by. I love you. I use when I'm on this right now with you on my laptop live. I'm using Wi-Fi from Kathy and Mark's. I have an extender, a booster. When I'm on my phone and I do my videos, I use my phone, and then it's Verizon. So both. Mickey, yes, indeed. I've never lived in such a conservative place in my life. Like I said, the best thing I can do is to keep my mouth shut. Most people are wonderful people here. I tell you, really, they're like lovable people. They're very accepting of me. But so conservative and so like everybody's liberals this and the liberals are that, and it's not true. I mean, I might be more liberal than I am the other way, but I'm not totally liberal. I mean, I have respect for the president, and I'm not trying like to stand on my ground and make a big deal over things, but people here do. I was raised in Southern California. I'm sure I couldn't afford to live there now. And it was way before things have gotten like they are now. Yes, Rose, it is a very touchy subject. And actually, Kat and Mark and we never talk about that, even her mom. But some of the family, when we have family night, it seems like it always comes up. And I just kind of like let it go. You know, I've learned not to say, and when I do say something, I get kind of put down. I mean, I grew up in Los Angeles in the 60s and 70s. And those were the days where we made love, not war, you know? Mark says that he was born and raised in Southern California, lived there till 44, and then the last 18 years in Reno. I love Nevada. That's another place that I would like to. I mean, I've been there many times, but I wouldn't have anybody. Really don't know anybody there. California's ridiculous prices. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is, you know. But I try not to talk about politics because I don't really know much about it. I know it's all phony. I know both sides are. No, during Woodstock, I lived in California, Santa Barbara. And that was when they burnt the Bank of America down. I don't know, Mickey. He asked if do I think it would be like that in Dallas or Houston. Probably not so bad. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. People are, you know, farmers and ranchers and oil workers, and everybody's kind of like not cowboys, but it looks like they are. No, Timothy wants to know if my friend Chris was disappointed that I didn't drive all the way to Arvida, Oregon. No, she just wanted me to have help. We've been friends since I was like 12. I sang at her wedding when I was 19. We're real good friends. She just wanted to help me. And when I got here and offered the property and stay here, she's told me herself, Deb, you can't beat the offer, you know, and it's true. I've enjoyed being here, but I am ready to do some traveling. Hi, Tiana. Welcome. I'm glad you joined the channel. I was born in Buffalo, New York, and in the 90s, and for several years, Kathy and I would go and do the Renaissance Fair in Tuxedo, New York, which is about like an hour from the city. And in 1975, my sister had passed away, and I had a very dear friend that lived in New Jersey, and I wound up going to New Jersey to just try to change my place. You know, I was so depressed. And they took me to the city, and I made friends with the people that they brought me over to meet, and I stayed 3 months. So I did get a chance to do New York City. I had a great time there. And I like Ohio too, Rose. Kathy and I did the Renaissance Fair in Ohio several years in a row, and it was beautiful in Ohio. Well, Mark, welcome to my channel. I appreciate that you're here tonight. I just felt like telling everybody that my air conditioner, I hope, is fixed. I'm living in a travel trailer, and just to let you know. And my RV, it's so hot right now. Like all week long, it's gotten from 100 degrees to 106. It's going to be 111 sometime this week, I think tomorrow. And every time it got over 95, my AC would break, the breaker would go and stop. So I had finally found somebody to get on the roof and wash all of the fins and the whole AC, and now I think it's fixed. I have traveled quite a bit in my life, but I still wouldn't mind doing a little more. I just don't want to live in a van. I can't do that. That's what scares me about selling this, because at least this is roomy enough to live in. I've never been to Chicago, Carrie. That's a place. We almost did it. We were close because we were in Michigan doing the different arts and crafts shows all over Michigan, which is another beautiful state. Never did get to Chicago. Saw the signs. And I didn't, Wisconsin was across the lake. I would like to see Chicago. Tiana, I could have stayed in New York City, but I kind of realized that you get a place to live there, you're there. When you start putting stuff in your apartment and you're moved in, it's hard to get out. I've been to Queens, Rose. I had a friend, we rented, actually, he had a house in Tuxedo, New York, and we stayed with him every summer, big house. And he lived most during the weekdays in Queens. There's a few places that I haven't seen. We drove through Indianapolis to get to Michigan, but you can't say that I was there. Yeah, it's a lifestyle. New York City's a great lifestyle. I knew that if I stayed any longer than those 3 months, I would be staying, and I didn't want to stay. And I wound up going back to Florida. Patty, where are you again? I forget. She said she has an international festival every year in June. Lots of food available from around the world. I forget where you're at. I'd love to come visit. I'd like to be visiting anywhere right now. I would like to get out of the heat. And I've been here a long time. When I went to Lubbock with Kathy, I felt like rejuvenated. I only stayed one night, but we were at the Hyatt, and it was so nice and pleasant. And, here, I have had the camera on, but I don't have enough space to really set it up. And when I'm making a necklace, I don't really set it out. You know how people set things out ahead of time? This is what I'm going to do. It's not me. Just like this one, I mean, just a little everything. I love those kind. But I probably could do more videoing of me making stuff, which I'm going to try to do. But right now, the heat kind of got me away from it. Well, Mark, that's kind of interesting. There's so many cool RVers, that have YouTube channels that I find it real interesting, because um, when I first got my RV, I mean, before I even got it, before my husband died 4 years ago. we spent about 6 months looking at RV YouTubers, checking out what we wanted, and you know, kind of. Then he got sick, and I still thought, well, I'm still going to do it, and I did. This is where I landed. Let's see, where did I swim at the Hyatt? No, we did bring our bathing suits. There was an indoor pool, Timothy asked me, but we only had one full day, and we just went out shopping, and you know. And the chocolate lovers asking, is gas really high? It used to be like $2.62 a gallon, and the last time I looked, it was $2.89. So, hi, Tia Linda. Well, I'm so glad you caught me live too. Finally, right? Welcome. She's all the way from. She's in Chile. How's Chile tonight? What's the weather in your area now? In Chile of South America. Sounds so extravagant to me. I like Ohio, Patty. That's what the gas was here too. It went up. Hi, Lucky. Harvey Lucky's a wonderful man. He is such a friend. Sometimes, Lucky, I feel like I just want to drive over to your house just to get away from here. Joan, she says, love to you and your baby girls. I enjoy your live chats. All the others that do the live chats use it for begging. You don't do that. That's why. Well, I'm not into begging. I'm really not. I don't care what I need. If I can't create the money I make jewelry, so that brings me some extra money. But I feel like whatever it takes to get by in this is a hard world we live in. I think people should do something for the money. I mean, it's easy for someone to go, you know, please support my channel, and that's not my nature. I've gotten help from people. As a matter of fact, I've had the most unbelievable subscribers that have sent me gifts, sent me help. You know, having a channel, it's kind of like a job in a way. I enjoy the job, so it doesn't feel bad to me. But when I go around and take videos, and then I have to like edit them, because otherwise I'd have like an hour video. I have to like edit it down to like 25, 24 minutes. And then I have to upload it, which takes 2 hours. It is kind of a lot of work. It's not bad work, but and there's a lot of people that if you got help, holy cow, do I pay for it. Anytime I've ever gotten something, people have yelled at me and called me names. And yes, Timothy, I'm going to start painting because it's so hot outside in the garage that in my little room here, I can paint. And I used to paint a lot. So that's going to be one of my next things I'm going to start painting. I've got plenty of canvases and lots of paint. I can't believe it's more money here, Janice. So yes, I do plan on painting. And Rose, you know, there's so many people on YouTube that make tons of money, and all they do is push their merchandise. And you know, this is what they do. I know, like, I watch a lot of those people. I watch Trisha Paytas and Jason Nash, which is now a couple, and they've got over 1 million subscribers, and all they ever do is try to get views, and whether it's clickbait. And I enjoy their channels. I don't send any money. I don't buy their merchandise, but you know, 1 million people, if you get 100,000 people to buy it, that's a lot. Lisa, it's too hot to paint outside. Kathy painted a painting for one of the presents for Nadia recently, and she started it outside and she had to go inside. Thank you, Joanne. I have watched Trisha Paytas's mom. You know, she's lucky because her daughter has sent her so many subscribers. She makes a good living on YouTube. Plus, anything that Trisha Paytas doesn't want to wear anymore, she lets she lets her mom sell it on whatever that channel is. But I like her. I don't know. There's something about her I like, and she is crazy, and she spends money like it's water. I mean, she buys purses for $5,000. She threw birthday parties and spent $70,000. She just took her boyfriend to, excuse me, to Bora Bora, a $70,000 vacation. Right, she sells on Posh. So she's set up pretty good. And I watch her, but see, she's been doing cooking videos of very unhealthy food. And I'm trying to be on a health mode. I'm trying to eat natural, not just plant-based, because I'd be lying, but not anymore the red meat. I'm not buying turkey sausage. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm eating a lot of hummus, Ezekiel bread, sprouts, avocados a lot. Carrie, I did become an Amazon affiliate. But then what happened was I didn't know how to put the link in. I'm kind of self-taught on here. And eventually they just took it back. I wouldn't mind seeing Reno. I've been to Tahoe a few times. Which one, Libra? Rose, really? I don't know. I haven't weighed myself in a while. I'm going to go back to the doctor and have another blood test and get weighed, and then I'll figure out if I've lost. You know, I just stopped eating. I have not been eating candy, and I haven't been eating, cream cheese and cheese melted on this. I've really given up that crap. So that's what's been doing. Otherwise, I'm not starving. Ezekiel bread is in the freezer section. And there's different kinds, but basically it's flourless bread. And it's made out of some sort of like, I wish, where'd I put it? It's in the car. Because my Walmart doesn't sell it. So they told me to bring the bag with the code and they would order it. And anyway, Ezekiel bread's good. I just toast it. It's very satisfying bread, but it's not like flour. And I usually, now instead of putting cheese or cream cheese, I'll use hummus. And I bought some a vegetarian soy cheese, which is delicious, product of Greece. And I'm going to grow my own sprouts. Yeah, Libra, I've looked at Social Blade, and it's pretty true. Because usually it'll give you like a spread of how much someone makes. Socialblade.com is, you put the name of the channel in, and it tells you like how much money they make. But it's just approximate. It's usually in the middle, and it's true. Thank you, Tiana. I plan on doing more. God, I'm like an hour drive from a really good grocery store. That's another reason that this place kind of gets to me. You know what I mean? I've never had Dave's Killer Bread. I've never heard of it. But Ezekiel Bread's really good, and I couldn't find any at the Walmart. I was so mad that I couldn't find that, and they had no sprouts. Hi, Maggie. What's shaking? Nothing. I'm just relaxed at home and feeling pretty good. Yes, I'm on Instagram. And it's RV Deb's Journey. And I think there's like an underscore between Deb's and Journey. And that's me. I do love Instagram. I put a lot of pictures on Instagram. And a little bit on Facebook too. RV Deb's Journey on Facebook. I do a lot of mostly YouTube, and then I do the Instagram usually when I take pictures. So what's shaking with you, Maggie? And New Moon says, doesn't that give you the runs? No, No, actually, eating what I've been eating, I've been going to the bathroom a lot better. When I eat a lot of cheese, and I was eating a lot of cheese, I love cheese melted on eggs. I like cheese on my bagels in the morning, and it was like it made binding. It's very binding. Are you talking about Reno? Come on to Reno. Thanks, Mark. If I have a van, no, not if. When I get my van and I fix it up so I can sleep in it, and I'd like to get a little solar panel on the roof, I might just take you up on that. But Ezekiel bread's really delicious. If you haven't ever tried it, in the freezer section, usually in most stores, it saves. So if anything, I haven't really been dieting because I'm not starving. I eat a lot of stuff. Like I've got strawberries. Um, I've got a couple of navel oranges I bought. So when I really feel like something sweet, that's what I do now. Whereas I used to make sure I had a candy bar. I couldn't go to the store without something to munch on, And I have stopped for about a month now. Thank you, Maggie. I do that too. I watch all my faves on YouTube. I really enjoy it. I hardly watch television. I mean, I watch TV once in a while too, but mostly I do the YouTube. I love so many different kinds of things I watch. It's not just, I mean, RVers are interesting. I like Carolyn and stuff, and I like, I watch a little bit of them, but mostly now I'm watching different interesting people. You know what, Tiana, it's not easy because when you change your life, just try it a day at a time, really. Uh, I'm just watching what I eat. I'm not like, I'm not even trying to, I am wanting to lose weight, but I'm not doing it to lose weight. I am doing this so that the fat content goes down. The sugar amount that we eat all the time is in everything. I'm not doing that. I'm not drinking milk. I'm not doing macaroni and cheese in the box real easy because that's what I was doing. Right, Carrie. The toilet part. I would probably get a little porta potty because the bucket thing doesn't seem too much for me. But when Kathy and I had a pop-up camper, and we had two of them, so we had a little screen room, and we would cover all the walls with material, and we would put our little porta potty out there, and during the day we'd cover it with material like a seat. And that can do for nighttime when when you have to go to the bathroom. But if I was in a van, I don't know. That's the thing. There's a lot of things to think about. We do have HEB, yes. Hi, Kimmy. But I've lived in a pop-up with Kathy, and we lived in it for like 8 weeks at a time, and so you really get comfortable. And I don't mind not having a lot of room. It is hard to make, and it is difficult to make meals when you're living alone. That's the thing, over the last, like, winter, where it's turned to spring, I started eating a lot of packaged stuff, which there's stuff in there. If you can't pronounce it, it's not good. So I have done away with, I do not buy packaged food anymore. And have I cheated? I don't like to call it cheating. I mean, tonight I went and we had taco salad, and I ate part of the taco crust. I ate like a good third of it, but I stopped myself and I told him not to bring me chips, and that's pretty good progress. It's not perfection. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with pooping in a bucket and with with a bag and doing your whatever's comfortable. Oh, that's sad, Kimmy. And somebody asked me about Chico's dog. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I know Chico's dog went to a really nice man with a big yard and a couple dogs, and I know he's happy because he needed that. Yeah, Trisha Paytas, Trishia, I think. She's very wealthy, and she's only 30, and she's crazy, but it's fun to watch her spend all her money. And she just finally found a man, and he's a doll. And his name is Jason Nash, and he's a 45-year-old guy that has a YouTube channel and hangs out with a lot of younger guys. I bet that broke your heart. Oh my God. I know, but sometimes you have to do what's right for your dog too, because if you can't, I mean, an Australian Shepherd needs to go out and walk. You know what I mean? You did the right thing. It's heartbreaking, but I'm sure you got her a good home. There you go. You can grow sprouts in a van. They don't, they grow so easy. And that's really good on top of, a piece of Ezekiel bread. And you can do, you can buy like a can of garbanzo beans. You can buy a can of black beans and mash them up. That's what I've been using. Just smearing beans on toast. I eat a lot of eggs, so I'm definitely not strictly plant-based. I've had my RV for 3 years. I've been in it. And that's why my air conditioner went bad, because it was so dirty up there, because this is the most dustiest place I've ever lived. I cannot believe the dust in this part of Texas. So of course it's all clogged up. Well, now it's clean, and I'm going to have this guy come like every 6 months and do it. Yes, many times. Oops. Hold on, my TV just turned on. Yeah, you can get some cans of certain things and a package of fresh salsa and, eggs. And I mean, living in an RV like van and traveling is going to be a test, but people do it. Right, Lisa, you can try windowsill herbs. So I would do sprouts. Let's see. That sounds good, Rose. She said she makes black beans with corn and bacon. South Louisiana has some good shrimp. What I miss about it, Alabama? Seafood. Oh, it was the best seafood. And that's healthy stuff, I think. It's still, it's something that I would eat. And could I ever be totally a fruitarian or something? I don't think so. That's true, Kimmy. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I watch what's her name? Pandemonium. Forget. Aja. I watch all those guys. I love crawfish too, but I really like the big shrimp. And the best shrimp I ever got was the what were they called? The Royal Red, and you can only get it over there in Alabama. Carrie says the great advantage of a van is that you can immediately jump behind the steering wheel and take off if you feel threatened. Yeah, of course. And hopefully that doesn't happen too much. I'd love to see Alaska, but I would not be the one to drive there. I'm sure it's gorgeous. Uh, Chocolate Lover said, do you ever go fishing? No, I don't go fishing, but at one time, I used to go fishing. When I was 21, I got married to this guy. It only lasted a couple years, but he was a fisherman. So I went fishing a lot then, trout fishing. Well, Mark, I did enjoy traveling with the trailer, but it's very hard to schlep a trailer for me. And as far as having a home, I love having this little land here. And I mean, it's not my land, it's Kathy and Mark's, but they told me I could live here as long as I want. So I feel like it's mine too. And it is nice to have a garden and, I'd love to go fishing out from a boat. That sounds like fun. You know what's another really good channel that I love and I can't wait till I see a video come out is it's called SV Delos, Sailing Vessel Delos. And it's this two guys, brothers, that have been, I think it's like 7 years, maybe more, that they've been on a sailboat. And they've got girlfriends. They've had different people. You have to check it out. SV Delos, they go back years, and you can watch any of their videos and you'll get hooked. A really fun group of people. And they kind of do they don't e-beg. What they say on their videos is like, buy us a beer. So that's their way of saying, send a little money. And some people send them beer. But right now they were in Brazil. They crossed the ocean, and it's so exciting to see people doing things that, I'm a little too old to do now. It's a good channel, SV Delos. I just love them. Brian and can't think of the other guy's name, but they just really have been a lot of places, and they're very careful and very handy. They fix things all the time. So check it out, Kimmy, are you talking to me? Because you said I would like to meet you one day. I'm not sure if you were talking to me, but I love to meet people. The only way I would live on a boat is if it was because I met somebody that I fell in love with and he was a boat guy. Then I'd live on a boat. Oh, great. For sure. Delos. SV, like sailing vessel, SV Delos, Delos. Too many of those, Carrie says, too many of the RV channels want to live the dream and they want you to pay for it. I agree. A lot of people, especially younger people, I hate to talk about other people, but I will mention, hey, Fat Cat, welcome. I will mention Living Free Mike. Like, he's a good guy and all, but that's it. Yes. He literally out in his live chats asks people to send money and he's just bought not a brand new, but a nice new Class C motorhome, and he's living the life, and he doesn't have to work, and I guess he's got like 50,000 viewers. So if I had 50,000 viewers, I would have a little money that I could count on every month. I'm struggling on YouTube just to make, the bare necessities, $100 a month. You got to, it's taken 3 years to make $100 a month. So, everybody say hello to Fat Cat. So you did yourself a live little show yourself, didn't you, Fat Cat? And it went well. I the thing that I do is I sell my jewelry, my beads. I sell my paintings. I have an Etsy shop. I do have a PayPal account because some people don't like jewelry and they want to show that they care and want to help. And I agree. I work hard on my channel. We all do. Doesn't mean that I'm begging either. Just because I tell you this, you know, I hey, money's hard to come by, and I'm over 65, and I think I'm doing pretty good considering I've never had a lot of money in my life. Thanks, Rose. Yeah, I felt like going live because I was like, it was such a rough emotional day because of my AC kept shutting off, and I just didn't know what to do. But somehow, a little angel talked to Kathy, and she put a little what do you call it, post on our Knox City, like it's a trader, and people sell things and they list things and happenings, and she showed a picture of my the trailer that I live in, and someone called, and this guy came over, and he was a nice man. His name was Mark. Everybody's name is Mark in my life. And he said for $50 he would go clean this. He went up on the roof and worked very hard. Hi, Judith. Yes, I do pay electricity. I pay water, electric, and the direct TV for both me and for Kat and Mark. It's not a lot of money considering apartments would be, a lot more. If I really would like to get a tiny little house, because here in this area you could buy a little tiny house for like 20,000, 25,000, but I don't have the money. Fast Pup Dog Training says lots of people ferment kombucha, right? That's what they do on S. Fidelos. They have kombucha. I don't know. It looks pretty nasty to me. Thank you, Janice. Stuff never ends. It's always something, but I'm happy to say that I really think that was the big problem. So, yeah. Kimmy, that's sweet of you. She says before she dies, she wants to buy shit on credit and give it to people who are good. Oh, I can't keep money. When I have money, I spend it. It's really hard. I am doing better, RV Fat Cat, because I don't know if you just heard, but finally, the dirt from the air, the dust and dirt was all gunked up. He showed me, this guy went up on the roof and showed me what the fins looked like on both sides, and it looked so black and ugly. So, yeah, it's clean. And I would suggest doing the same thing to yours, to make sure you look at a few videos. It's pretty simple to do it. It's just a matter of climbing on top of the trailer safely. No, I wasn't going to do it, but this guy did it, and he charged me $50, and the air is coming out nice. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow when it gets hot. I am full of life. A Class C is the front of the Class C is like a van, and then above is like either usually it's a bed, and then the box, which is the bedroom and the kitchen or whatever. That's a Class C. The Class A is just like a big old square, and you drive, and the whole thing's open. But a Class C has like a van front. Who were you talking to, Kim? Janice, that's exactly what I want is to either get a van and do a conversion or get a conversion van. Okay. Because I was seeing what you said and it said show or hide. And I didn't want to have anybody call anybody names. Thank you, Rose. I'm probably most of the time upbeat and positive. Everybody has their days, and like today was one of those days. It was Kathy's birthday. Her husband went to work at 4, and then her and I went to dinner. And that's cool. That's really cool. I'd like to get one like that, Janice. And I was just tearful today. And I was sweaty and hot and miserable, and the thing kept turning off early because it was worse and worse and worse, of course. But boy, as soon as this guy finished, I felt better. Took a shower, put a little makeup on, and said, "Let's go to dinner," and we did. And I'm in much better mood now. When he washed the air conditioner, make sure if you wash your air conditioner, which is on the roof of an RV, make sure you put a tarp over your bed. And the best thing you could do too is lower the rear end a little tiny bit so that the water drains off. Because he comes down, I watched him. My bed was soaked. So and wasps' nests get in there. It's dirty and nasty, and I hadn't had it cleaned for 3 years. And I guess it was just suffocating. And so make sure you cover your bed with either a tarp or a bucket. Make sure right under because mine was right on my bed. That's where the AC hits. But wherever your AC is up there on the roof, it's going to bring water in. Kimmy, and don't let other people get you upset, because you know what? There's a lot of people that they get off on putting other people down. It's pretty sad, and you just have to give it a blind eye. Don't let anybody get you, because there's just too many good people out there to concentrate on the negative, and that's what I try really hard not to be negative. And am I always positive? No, I mean, I have my days. I'm just a person. But when I get on YouTube, I don't want to spread negativity or sadness if I can help it. And I do try to keep an upbeat, positive attitude about, what I'm doing. It's not always perfect. Yeah, don't forget RV Fat Cat to take care of it, because that's what was wrong with mine. But 3 years was a long time, obviously. I can only imagine trying to clean it. I was going to get up there, Oh, yeah, I watch Aja. She's something else. But Aja's very handy, you know? Kara. Hi, Aggie. Good morning. You're in the morning zone. We're in the night zone. I've talked to Aja, in message, and someday I'll meet her. I like her very much. She's out there, she has been doing it for a long time. I liked her better when she was on her own, because she would go on long walks with her dog by herself, and I don't know, she just sort of seems now like, and I guess, once you find a tribe of people that are all traveling together, I can understand why they all travel together. So, I understand that, because it's a lot nicer to have people around you. But if you watch Aja's channel and then you watch, forget some of the other channels that are with her, they're all saying the same thing. Well, that's a shame, Kimmy. I hate to hear that, but only you can turn it around, you know, because think about this. The words that we say are very, very powerful. I live by this. As you think, so shall it be. So if you think badly of yourself, if you think you've got bad luck, chances are you're going to have bad luck. So try to stop yourself. You know what I mean? And when you start thinking, oh man, am I a loser? Say, I'm a winner. I am a winner. I am going to have good luck. As a matter of fact, I won $75 more in a scratch off. I won $100 and I spent $10. I got one ticket about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, won $100. Was so excited. And then actually it was about a month ago. And then just a few days ago, I went and I thought, let me try it again, because I went and got my propane 20-gallon thingy tank filled. And I went in and I thought, well, since I'm not eating candy, I'm going to buy a couple scratch offs. And one was $75. So just remember that as you think, just think about those words. Put it in your mind, write it down 10 times. As you think, so shall it be. Because words are very, very, very freaky. They're strong as can be. I read that RV Fat Cat. I would be running too. If they were live, oh yeah. That's it, Kimmy. That's much better. Just those words coming out, because really think about those words that you say. And yes, you might have had the worst mother, and that's very, very sad. And we all know our mothers mean so much to us, that when somebody hasn't got the greatest mother, which there are people that never should have had children, but they have children anyway, and they go live their life, and you're a kid and you pay for it. But my God, you need to change it around for you. You got to take care of you. Start thinking positive thoughts, even when it's hard. I am beautiful. And I know that, in reality, am I beautiful? To some people, I'm beautiful. I don't really say those kind of words, but I do think, as you think, so shall it be. That's right. That's right. Lady Luck in the flesh, $75. And you know what? That's why I can afford to pay the guy $50. And I paid $40. One of our relatives came over, and my box outside was not put together properly, and it flashed and kind of almost caught a fire. And he changed it for me, and he didn't want to charge me, but I gave him money. Thank you, Haggy. Yeah, some days my hair is good and some days it's not. When I'm out in the sweat, it was so hot, and I was in the garage doing my little infomercial on my Etsy stuff. Excuse me, and I was so sweaty, and people were going, "Is her eyes puffy? One eye smaller than the other?" Yeah, I looked like what, but I was feeling it again. Sometimes you feel like it. Sometimes you don't feel so great. Thank you, Mark. I think you're beautiful. And that's right, Kimmy. We need to love ourselves, because you are what you attract too. Like, I mean, it's be careful who you hang out with. That's another thing. I have not dated anybody, and I haven't really been looking. Where I live in this town, there is nobody else. Nobody. They're a bunch of old. I know I'm old, but there's a bunch of old, like, ranchers that look like they've been out in the sun too long and wearing overalls and crap, and it's not my style. And hi, Snickers from Long Island. I have a friend in Long Island named Craig. He's on here sometimes. Thank you, Rose. I bet you are the same. Some people just click with each other, don't they? Well, I didn't clean my top of my AC. I changed the filter, the vent. You change that filter like once every 3-4 weeks because it gets dirty. But I knew that the top was going to be dirty, and that was 3 years. So I'm going to every 6 months I'm going to ask this guy to come and clean my AC because that's the only way to keep it running good. Peggy, I would like to, find a gentleman to go out with, and my friend Larry, he's a doll, and every time we go to Abilene, I'll stop at his house. Kathy will come and we sit and talk on his porch. He's got gorgeous, gorgeous land. He has 2 acres and he has a green thumb. He's got all kinds of trees and all kinds of beautiful flowers and plants and food. And we just sit and and he's such a giver. He's a good man, but he wasn't for me. And he did meet a nice lady. Sean, hi. Are you ever coming back to San Francisco? Oh, I would love to. I love San Francisco. I was very fortunate and lived in San Francisco for about 3 months in like 90, I don't know, 97. I actually played guitar and sang at a place on 20, I think San Francisco is a wonderful city. Pamela says, hey, never too old. I still have a crush on Lucas McCain. So love the Rifleman. I love Celtic Thunder. Every single one of those guys are cute. And I'm going to go see them in November. I bought a ticket. I'm going to go by myself. If I have a van, then I'll stay in it. If I don't, then I'll get a hotel. And I will enjoy myself. I'm going to do it. And do I play bingo? I wish there was somebody to go play bingo with. This little town has nothing going on. Not one bar. There's not even a place to go grab a cocktail if you wanted one. You got to drive an hour. Well, that's not too bad, but then you got to come back home an hour. And if you go to bars, it's not a good idea to be driving. Oh, well, Mark, come on over. We'll go on a date. I know what it's like, though. I had a wonderful husband I was with him 14 years. And there's nobody's like him. I don't expect it. But, we really cared for each other. And that's all we can ask for, right? Someone that, cares for you. No bars, Lisa. Hi, Joan. Hi, Celie Garcia from Washington, one of my favorite states in the world. RV Fat Cat says she's too cool, California cool for that little town. Nothing against them, just different. I was saying that earlier in my little chat here that I really just don't really have anybody other than Kat. She knows me really well. I just kind of keep my mouth shut most of the time. I don't give my opinion. It's a dry county. Well, I think they sell beer and wine at the store. Seal, okay. Seal Garcia, gotcha. Yeah. I used to love the Greek restaurants down in Florida. I miss that. What I really miss, I love my family here. They're really good people, but really, I'm pretty much on my own. And what do I miss? I miss being able to just go to a Greek restaurant one night, go to a Thai restaurant, go have sushi somewhere, just go to get a Jewish dinner, like a deli corned beef sandwich once in a while, a bagel that's good. All these things, it's a lot about food, but Miami food is amazing. I miss just being able to get more than just here in this area. It's Tex-Mex. If you want good Tex-Mex, okay, you got it. If you want fried catfish, fried steak with gravy, this is the place for you. I've never been to Chicago, Haggy. Someday I wish to go see Chicago. That's why if I get my van and I start traveling instead, I'd stay away from here for a month at a time. It would be good for me. And I would miss my family here, and I'd come back. Well, I miss Florida, but not in the sense of living in Florida. I really never enjoyed the concrete jungle that Florida is. They've just everything. They took most of the, unless you're rich and you can live on the water, and then. But otherwise, Florida's not so great. I lived in Clearwater, Florida, and I also lived in Key West. That was cool, but I was 30. I lived a few years in Key West, played my guitar and sang for my living. Hi, Cheap Entertainment Channel, welcome. And I enjoyed living in Key West, one of my favorite places ever. Just riding bikes, and I lost 10 pounds without even dieting because I was always on my bicycle. I lived in Clearwater and Largo for the longest time. Then my husband and I moved to Tarpon Springs, which was very Greek. I loved it there too. Okay, Haggy, I'm coming to England. I wish. Key West is like its own little world. I think I used to say that Key West was the closest to being California from Florida. I mean, it was like night and day. Well, if you remember the name of the restaurant, Kimmy, because Tarpon Springs is not such a big place. It's a nice area of Florida. I liked it. That I did like it. I probably, if I could have afforded to keep my little house, but the rent, you had to pay like lot rent. It kept going up every year, and right now it's probably about 600 and something a month, and that's half of my Social Security. It wouldn't work. But that was a nice time, except for my husband got sick, and we really, it became kind of a real sad place. Thank you, RV Fat Cat. I didn't. Yes, I've seen the Gators. I did some arts and crafts shows right where the Gators play, and we would go to this craft show. It was in the Gainesville area, and everybody had blue and orange on. And it was like there was a balcony where where people sold stuff, and you'd look down. It was a sea of blue and orange. Crazy. I do too, Kara. She said, "I hope I find the right van." Yeah. Well, I was talking to my dear. She's like a niece, Stephanie, and her husband is Lee, Kathy's older son. And she told me that in the next few months, Lee will go with me to help me look for a van. So that's what I'm going to do. What happened in what regard? Well, I can't get on the road till I find a van, and I got to fix it up comfortable and make sure I've got a little bit of power so I can run a fan. If there's anything I do need at night is a little fan on. Thanks. I love to be watched and listened to, and I like to read all your comments. And it's the only time I don't even look at the camera. Like I'm looking at the dot right there. So I know I'm looking at you. But basically I'm looking at your words. When I get a van and I start to travel around, I am going to do a lot of YouTubing. I mean, I do it anyway, but I'm going to show where I'm at, and it'll be fun. I'd like to meet people. I do. I'm a people person. I like privacy too, and I think people all deserve their privacy. But Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much a people person. I like communicating. Thanks, Haggy. I try to do the live at least once a week because I enjoy it myself. Because I feel like I just had a really rough couple days, and when I read the comments, how I looked really tired and how I looked kind of like they were worried that I was sick. It was just that I was sweaty and my hair was not nice and my no makeup on whatsoever. And let's face it, a little makeup helps. Kimmy's a hobbit, everybody. You have big feet. Well, I do read. Which brand do I prefer? Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Nissan, Toyota. I've had Chryslers and I've had Kia Sedonas. I had 3 Sedona minivans with Kathy and we worked in them and I loved it. But I wouldn't mind getting one that I'd love to get a Sprinter. But, you know, like who's dreaming there, right? I have not seen any snakes, but people that live out in the country, like a little far away from town, they see snakes. Oh, yeah. I don't know what kind of van I'm going to get. I sure wouldn't mind. What I want to do is have like Lee go with me, so I don't, you know, because I don't know cars and vans that much. But Neon 8, I don't even want to hear that kind of talk. So please don't mention that anymore, okay? I'm going to let that slide because I do not believe in. Matter of fact, I don't like it at all. I don't understand anybody that would say something stupid like that. Nobody's, what can I say? Anyway, I removed it. Yeah, there's snakes and like right now there's mosquitoes and lots of flies and spiders, but I haven't really had a problem other than mosquitoes lately. And I've had to have the door open a lot today. So, you know, I've got flies, although I got my fly swatter handy. And you'll find that there's fly swatters everywhere. Well, I can get rid of them. And if it's that bad, you know, maybe I'll get a moderator, but yeah, I try to give everybody, you know, a little chance. Yes, Deborah, she said life is a gift every day. That is the truth. You know, you get up in the morning and you can make the best of it, or you can, you know, not. But things do happen, like the air conditioner not working, or you're not having enough money to pay for it, or, you know, and it does bring you down. And it's just normal. I mean, we're human beings. But I do try real hard to keep positive. I would love to get like, you know, I would love a high top van. Um, Something in my eye. I think a hair. And but I would settle for a regular van that had, you know, a good engine, clean and easy to, you know, build up a little bit. Hi, Granny. That's right, Kimmy. Every time you open up your eyes. We're talking about bugs because it's just a buggy season. Somebody asked about, you know, what kind of bugs and snakes. I'm in Texas, and like I said, there's all kinds of stuff. But I have had no problem really with it. So I'm doing okay, Stephanie. How are you? Much better than the last few days. I was feeling down, tearful. I mean, we all get days. And it was mostly because the air conditioner, it's 104 degrees, 108 degrees. You need. I don't blame you, Kimmy. You know, when I was planning to get an RV, and my husband and I were dreaming of the time that we would get our motor home and we would travel and go all over, and he didn't want to go anywhere near Texas. But he knew that my best friend, Kat, was going to be moving to Texas. I said, we're going to go and visit. And I went, I mean, I was just going to visit here for a few days when I came. Um, Here I am, a year. It'll be 2 years in August, so over a year and a half. But I can say this, I can say that Texas is a lot more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. I thought, oh, it's going to be brown and ugly, and it's going to be, ugh. And yeah, there are browny, dusty areas, but there's a lot of beautiful farmland and interesting trees and beautiful wildflowers. And you got to sort of see the pretty parts, or otherwise you go nuts. Neon, I think you're kind of young, and I really would like. I mean, I don't mind you being here, but don't ask everybody's age, okay? That's an interesting thought. Kimmy says, anyone notice that the sun is white now and it burns hot? Not what I remember from years ago, it used to be yellow. Okay, you go. Bye-bye. I'd love to see London, but I can understand wanting I bet it's beautiful in the countryside there in England. Okay, let me say goodbye. Hold on a minute. Trying to do this where I don't do the wrong person. Okay. Um, okay. That person is no longer available to everybody. Everybody wave bye-bye. 55 and Alive says, I live in Texas and mosquitoes were a problem. Enjoy, Debbie. Texas is a wonderful place, a wonder place, but I got spoiled here in California. I was raised in all my teenage years and in my 20s was in California. I agree. Yeah, well, he's no longer welcome. A lot of people are like little kids. They get on here. They shouldn't be on here anyway. Yeah, I mean, I really have not seen much of Texas. When we drove to Lubbock, Texas from here, the land changed and it was a lot different, like a lot of, hills and kind of like tiny little, what would you call, Grand Canyons, only tiny canyons. So I know there's a lot of places to see that I haven't seen, so I can't talk for all of Texas. But this part of Texas, which is like West Central, is pretty flat and very, very, I don't want to be negative, but it's not my cup of tea. It's just not. And I don't have a bunch of children, and, it's different. Hi, Sean. It's different. Yeah, like Taylor, Texas is kind of a quiet place too, I hear. Well, Haggy, I have a truck, and I don't want to have a truck. I don't want to sleep in a truck, and I don't want to sleep in a Jeep. I like vans. I've had vans before, and I like the idea of the privacy that you have. So whatever you've got in your van, nobody sees. And I like the idea that if you can camp in it and set it up semi-comfortable. I mean, it's never going to be like home, but in the right weather. And I'm definitely going to want to have like a solar panel and a battery. I can do that. Yes, I'm looking for a van. I've never been to El Paso, so I really couldn't even, like I said, I can't really judge much of Texas. I hear that San Antonio is beautiful, Austin, a lot of young people, and I love where young people live. Because inside this older woman is a young person. I'm still the same young person. No, I have not seen any bears or mountain lions. I saw when I was up in New York in the mountains, I saw bears like 3 different times. Even in Florida, we were driving on a small road doing arts and crafts shows, and bears ran across the highway. But I haven't seen any here. I've seen coyotes. I've seen prairie dogs, road runners. Those are cool. These bunnies that have like long ears. Judith, that is one of the nicest places in California, San Diego. Like one of the cleanest places you could live. I wouldn't mind being there myself. Right, bears aren't around here, which is fine. Yeah, cottontails. Those are cool. The jackrabbits with the big ears. I had a picture of a long time ago, like last year. We went somewhere driving in the country and we took pictures of these cool looking jackrabbits. And roadrunners. They were cool look. I mean, we all got excited because they were really neat. We got a lot of birds, beautiful birds right here in our yard. Really pretty place in New York. Tuxedo, New York is gorgeous. And what do you call it? Where the Jewish people used to go for holidays. Can't think of the name of the mountains. Anyway, New York's gorgeous. If you, I mean, not talking about New York City or Buffalo, but just the world. Like, oh, I can't remember the names of the towns, but some really pretty towns, beautiful. Newburgh, New York. Grace Beyond says, and this goes for me. My young brain says I can do anything. My whole body says, "What the heck are you thinking up?" After I try to do something that I did when I was younger. Yeah. Oh, right, the Catskills. I've been there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Gasoline's $4 a gallon. Judith says in San Diego. Right now it's 280 something, and it's as high as I've ever seen it here. Yeah, I am subscribed to the Russos. New York State's a beautiful state. It has everything. I will, Gene. Little House on the Road. There's so many channels. I try to keep smiling. I really do. I mean, like I said, I've had a few bad days, but it was all about comfort. And mostly I get nervous for the dogs. Like I couldn't leave my dogs in the house because if the AC turns off, I would worry. So, they had to go with me. I bring them over to Kathy's house. And it's funny because they don't really want to go there. They want to go back here. Judith, I can really relate. She says she lives on $9.50 a month and worry about money every day. I know. I don't know how they expect people to live on the amount and charge what they charge for food and gas and rent. Ugh, it's scary. I don't think so, Grace Beyond. She said, have ever seen the Thousand Islands there in New York? No, but in Tuxedo, New York, Big Bear, the Bear Mountain, New York, it was just beautiful. Lots of lakes, and especially in autumn. It is hard. It's hard to live on just a little bit of money, you know. Everything costs so much. You go to the store and you want to be healthy, and everything that's really healthy is more money. Like, why is grass-fed beef so hard to get and so expensive? You know, animal factories making poor animals suffer all their whole life. They don't get to be out and enjoy life, and then we're eating their negative, sad life karma, which really is what got me on this health kick. Thank you, Lisa. I just couldn't. Once I saw the videos, I didn't want to eat that food because it's all so sad. And, you know, you're eating food that has been raised to just to die. You know, I mean, how happy could that be in your body? Sean Quinn says, I saw a rare jaguar outside of Conan off US 83 in South Texas, bigger than a cat. I got a picture of it. Lost the negatives. Aw, but sent it to the Texas Wildlife Preserve. There's all kinds of animals. I don't see. I mean, we see deer, by the way. I tell you, I mean, this town is a little town, and there's a lot of friendly people. I mean, I'm not going to put it down. And yes, you can get homes for $20,000 here. It's so important that we really eat, you know, the non-GMO food. And you know what gets me is that other countries have forbidden it, but not here. There's a lot of towns in New York. I can't think of them myself. What's the one that was known for a racetrack? Has these beautiful homes in New York. Saratoga Springs. Still working. Yay. That's a gorgeous place. We drove by it and we had to like drive up and down and look at the homes. I love looking at beautiful homes. And I always wonder, whoa, I'd love to go inside and what do they do to have those homes? You know what? I think that they're poisoning a lot of things. I think that the government has found a way for to control the population. They figure if enough people get cancer, it'll be just a natural way of that there'll be less people. And boy, that's the way it is. And it's a sad situation. But sugar, and it's one of my weaknesses, sugar is one of the worst things for cancer. Rose said, my aunt lives by Saratoga. She has a 12-room Victorian. They are some gorgeous homes, Rose. Oh, I was so you know, enthralled and just, oh my God, it was just, I love Victorian homes. That's one of the things I like about San Francisco is the beautiful Victorian homes. Yeah, Haggy, unfortunately. Well, I only saw 42nd Street when it was the 70s. But I don't know what it's like now. Yes, Judith, my husband died of cancer, multiple myeloma. And one of the things that I don't know, I mean, that hastened his disease, he drank like a gallon of milk every day or so, and he ate a lot of sugar, and he was slim, so it wasn't that he was fat. We did a couple of craft shows, art shows near Atlantic City, and it was a nice area in New Jersey. Kathy and I traveled all over the place, really. 42nd Street's no longer, it was in the 70s, I guess. Has this been fun or what? I've really enjoyed our sharing. I'm so glad I decided to do this. I mean, this is my like nighttime, like night clothes. And I thought, well, I had a little makeup left from like, I put it on at dinner hour. And thought, why not do a little chat out here in live land? Well, that's a shame. The Victorian homes are beautiful. They are falling into disrepair. Yeah, I know. And people need to fix them up, and it costs money, and a lot of money, actually. And it's funny because it used to be a middle class where, there were middle class people that made money and had a little vacation once a year, and, the kids got clothes for school. And I mean, that's where my parents were. And now it seems like there's this high priced, you know, people that have all the money, and people that have no money. Yeah, oh, I don't think there's too many places you can buy homes for 15 to 35,000 and get a nice home. I am so glad, Judith, that you came to share some of your evening with me. No, our chickens are so sweet. I mean, I used to be afraid of them. I'd go in there because I was cleaning out my closet. I had to get rid of some food that I was not going to eat anymore. And I went out there and I had a lettuce that was going bad, but they as long as it's not horrible. And I had a big bag of like rice checks, and I opened the door, and I used to be really afraid of them, and they really care. They love people, and I just poured it all in, and they're like so happy. No, they never go to bite. Thank you, Snickers. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Mark. That's a blessing because chemo can really do you in too. A lot of people that really made my husband when he had chemo. He went from walking into the hospital, he never walked again. Yeah, an old brick home from 1908. That's amazing. But yeah, it's probably it's like anything. It just takes your money. It really does. Even the RV. I mean, there's always something you want to fix up, and things break, and it's not made really to live in, and we live in them. That's a perfect place to live, Rose. Just 45 minutes from the city. That's funny, Sean. He said the chicken, they rip off buttons on his shirt. When Mark takes care of the chickens mostly, he'll go in there and there's like four chickens will just like bend down to be petted. Some of them are skittish, but we've got about 4 or 5 of them that want you to touch them. And you know what's interesting too about Seal said agree on that we should eat, and you're right about the government. It's the sad thing. Like Kathy's mom is 89 years old, and she is. I mean, she's in really good shape. She has her little things, but nothing bad. And my grandmother lived to like 94. And one of the reasons I kind of ask older people, and they say they don't eat a bunch of junk. They don't eat those boxed foods. They prepare. A lot of them make their own bread and make their and it's the way our unfortunately the children, like the little kids from born up to like 15, 16 are eating crap. Okay. Let's see. And we're not going to cook our chickens. Those chickens are going to lay eggs when they get too old to lay eggs, which hopefully doesn't happen right away. They'll give them to a farm, and I guess that eventually will become food, but we will never do that. Thanks, Haggy. Have a good breakfast. I'm I'm not sure when the next chat comes. What's today? Thursday? Probably next week, Thursday or Friday. Yeah, Mary Rose, Mary for her age looks good, Um, she's definitely, she can do more stuff than I can do. She can go outside and pick weeds and she gets tired and sits down, but she doesn't really have major issues, which is really good. So, I mean, I just have to remember that what you put in your body, especially the crap that is given to us, from now on, and I'm doing the best I can. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing a lot better than I was doing. I'm eating I'm cooking a lot more, and that's a big hassle in an RV. But I got this pressure cooker, and it's in the garage, and I've got to use it. It's just been so hot. I haven't wanted to do. Got some Ozanazi beans. They're the prettiest beans. They really are, and they're really healthy. And I might make some of those. I might do a whole chicken and vegetables. I don't really know what I'm going to make. I just know that it's just been too hot to do anything. So you got to think about what we put in our bodies and what we feed our kids. And Jello and all that stuff. Read the back. All that stuff, all that fake coloring, and I ate it when I was a kid too, but well, Granny, it's just so hot. I don't even want to be outside. So cooking outside right now, not really. Yeah, all that food, Captain Crunch, I know. Cocoa Puffs and all the things that kids want to eat, all sugar. All the word enriched is supposed to be good, right? Yeah, our chickens were just little babies when we got them, and now they're full, sassy old women, and they lay a lot of eggs. I never buy eggs now, and the eggs are good, and I know what they eat because they're free, and they're not ranged because too close where there's streets, but they have a nice sized yard. They're happy. They don't. I was gonna say something. Oh, for the next few days, I'm going to be taking care of Riley. That's a doggy that lives about maybe 7, 8, 10 blocks away, and her mom and dad are the people I stayed with in the winter. They're going to be out of town. They're going to Houston, so I'll be taking some videos over in their house, and maybe that would be a good place to make some food. I don't know. We'll see. Chickens are cool. I mean, I talk to the chickens, and they come to talk to me. And some people think that's, oh, I talk to chickens. I've had people make fun of that, but I don't care. I think they're sweet, and I do give them names, but I don't give them not every single one has a name. The ones that look like Lace are Lacey. The black ones are Cher, and the red ones are Red, and that's all I can do. Oh man, Granny, I wish I was in a place where it was in the high 60s all week. That's my favorite kind of weather. And we did have that, like, let's see, like January, February, March. It was cold, cold. They were just beautiful. I could not take one of those chickens and kill it and eat it. And Kathy and Mark, before I got here, they had some chickens before these chickens. And one of they decided to try one chicken. And she said, never again. She'll never eat the chickens again. Yeah. No, I wouldn't want to kill my babies. I mean, if I was like, you know how there's a show I watch, Naked and Afraid. Um, yeah, I remember Tang. Um, you know, if I was starving to death and all I could do, if I could find a chicken or something like that, I guess then I would kill it and eat it if I had to. But I don't have to, and I don't want to. And animals are cool. I love all. I'm an animal person. I do. I love animals. Yeah, we don't eat our chickens, just their eggs. And I give the chicken stuff that because I don't always eat everything. Like sometimes I buy tomatoes, and they're just about getting where like I don't want to eat them anymore. I'll go out and give it to them, or it could be anything. Salad, cereal. They love cereal. Even pecans. I had a bag of pecans, and they'd been in the fridge a little longer than I wanted. And we have a lot of pecans. So I went out there and man, did they love the pecans. They eat pretty much people food. There's certain things you don't want to give them. I always Google it so I make sure it's safe. Yeah. Right. Anything that you trim off, like the lettuce, and if you have broccoli or cauliflower, ends or whatever you don't eat, they love it. Sorry, Liddy. Sorry, Nini. Boy, the girls are quiet tonight. Come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. I wanted you to say hi to Lily tonight. She was just sleeping. That's neat. Roy Leon. Anyway, she said we saw chickens hatch, and then when she was a kid, and then her father put them in an incubator. Oh, my little sweet girl. I would never want to leave her in a hot vehicle either. This is a baby. She's my baby. Oh, that sucks, Kimmy. So, anyway, I think it's time. I've really enjoyed my chat. I didn't even think I was going to be on very long, but with you guys, you keep me such good company. I do too, Sean. That's one of my favorites. And now they have Naked and Afraid XL where there's several people out there. Man, I would not want to be in Africa like that, especially naked. Oh, I know. Isn't she something? She is as sweet as she looks. And she has a lot of pip and vinegar. I mean, she's funny. Rosie, come here. Rosie's laying down, being very lazy. She's also real sweet. They're very different than each other, but they love each other. When I got Lily, Rosie wouldn't even look at Lily for like 6 weeks. Like she'd go in the bedroom and pout. Bye, Joan. Okay, let's all call it a night. I will definitely do this again, and I want to thank each and every one of you for just being a part of my life, watching my videos, and thumbs ups always are nice. And people that want to buy on Etsy, I always have pretty things available. Thanks for everything. Have a good night's rest, and I'll talk to you real soon. Until the next time.